Hello, sixth graders. So today we're going to continue talking about dividing fractions. And again, on Friday, we talked about a little trick called KCF, or keep, change, flip. And that helped us solve these division of fraction problems. So we're going to continue talking about dividing whole numbers by fractions. And towards the end of this lesson, I'm going to show you a little helpful trick that may help you simplify your answer and make the problem shorter. So let's look at this first problem. It says 8 divided by 3/7. So we first want to set up the original problem, okay? 8 over 1 divided by 3/7. And we put that 8 over 1 so that it's in fraction form, because 8 over 1 is equivalent to just 8, okay? So now we are going to keep the 8 over 1, change the division to a multiplication sign, and flip, or that fancy word, find the reciprocal of 3/7, which would be 7/3. And now all we do is just multiply across. So 8 times 7 is 56. 1 times 3 is 3. But now we have an improper fraction. So what we need to do, and right here I have a little division, okay? You can do this in your head, but you can also set up a division problem, okay? So I actually don't think I gave you enough room here, so I apologize, but you can do this on a scrap piece of paper if you need. But 3 goes into 5 once to get 3. You subtract, you get 2, bring down the 6. 3 goes into 26 8 times to get 24. Yeah, I didn't give you enough room, sorry. 26 minus 24 is 2. So your final answer, this is your whole number, 18. Your remainder is your numerator, and your denominator stays the same. So your answer is 18 2/3. Okay, so let's try another one. The next one is 14 divided by 4/7. Well, we have to rewrite. We keep the 14, so 14 over 1. We change the division to multiplication, and I actually messed up. This should be a multiplication sign. I apologize. And then we flip the 4/7 and find the reciprocal, which is 7/4. So now we can multiply across. Ooh, this time we got a big number. We have 14 times 7. What is 14 times 7? Well, 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. So we have 98/4. So now we have to turn this into a mixed number. So how many times does 4 go into 98? Well, we can set up a division problem. 98 divided by 4. And this time I did give you enough space. 4 goes into 9 2 times to get 8. We subtract, we get 1. Bring down the 8. 4 goes into 18 2 times again to get 16. Subtract and get 2. So your final answer, 22 times it goes in. 2 left over out of 4. And we can actually simplify 2/4 to make it a half. So your answer is 22.5. Now, this process may seem a little long. We had to do keep, change, flip, then we had to multiply, and then we had to do a long division problem. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick, okay? To solve this, just like I said, you have to first do long multiplication, and then you have to do long division. But what if I told you there was an easier and faster way? I feel like I'm on a game show. Introducing Pre-Simplification. Fancy word for just simplifying before you even start. So let's look at this problem again. We have 14 over 1 divided by 4/7. So we keep, change, flip, and we get 14 over 1 times 7/4. And now this is the first step of pre-simplification. We look diagonally. Okay. Do 14 and 4 have any common factors? Yes, they can both be divided by 2. So 2 is a common factor. So you can divide the numerator, 14, and the denominator, 4, by 2. You're basically just simplifying before you even start. So 14 divided by 2, we can cross it out. We get 7. 4 divided by 2, we can cross the 4 out, and we get 2. So our new pre-simplified multiplication problem is way easier to do in our head. It's 7 times 7, which is 49. 1 times 2, which is 2. And we can solve this way easier, okay? And we get, if we do this, 2 goes into 4 twice. Oh, sorry. We get 0, bring down the 9. 2 goes into 9 4 times, okay? And we end up getting 24 and a half. All right, so this way, when we pre-simplified, we got our answer a lot faster and we didn't have to do any long multiplication and not as much long division, and our answer was simplified at the very end. We got a half. Okay, so let's practice some more pre-simplification. All right, so this next one, 36 divided by 4. Keep the 36, so 36 over 1. Change the division to multiplication and flip or find the reciprocal of 3/4 and get 4/3. Now, what I did, I have these lines. What I want you to do is to drag these lines over to, if you're pre-simplifying anything. And then you can just cross it out and type in the number that it is now when you pre-simplify. So I'm going to write these a little to the side. So 36 is here, 3 is here. Because what I can see is that, can a number, if we look diagonally at 36 and 3, what is a common factor of 36 and 3? Or what can 36 and 3 both be divided by? They can both be divided by 3. So 36 divided by 3, we can drag one of those lines. That becomes 12. Okay, I can circle that. It's now 12. 3 divided by 3, I could drag one of those lines, cross out the 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So our new problem, guys, just became this. 12 over 1 times 4 over 1, which is really easy to do in our head. 12 times 4 is 48. 1 times 1 is 1. So if it was improper, you would have to set up a long division problem. But this is in simplest form. The answer is just 48. Now, way easier than doing 36 times 4 and then dividing that by 3. By doing pre-simplification, we got our answer right away. So let's try another one. Keep the 9 over 1. Change the division to multiplication. Flip the 3/5 to get 5/3. Okay? Now, again, we always look diagonally. I always look diagonally first this way. Can 9 or 3 be divided by the same number? Evenly. Yes, both of them have a common factor of 3. Both of them can be divided by 3. So 9 divided by 3. Bring one of those lines, cross it out. We get 3 instead. Okay. 3 divided by 3. Draw one of those lines, cross it out. We get 1. So our new fraction is just 3 times 5, which is 15. 1 times 1, which is 1. So our answer for that problem is just 15. Again, we didn't even have to do any long division. Okay, 15 wholes. And the last one, 18 divided by 2/3. We get 18 over 1. Keep or change the division to multiplication and flip the 2/3 to 3 over 2. So again, we look diagonally. Okay, and we're not looking diagonally this way, guys, because this number right here, since it's always whole numbers, it's always going to be a 1, so we can never simplify any further than that. So let's look again at 18 and 2. Can 18 and 2 be divided by anything? Do they have any common factors? Yes, they can both be divided by 2. So 18 divided by 2, cross out the 18, that becomes 9. 2 divided by 2, cross out the 2, that becomes 1. So now we just have 9 over 1 times 3 over 1, which is super easy, again, to do in our heads. 9 times 3 is 27. 1 times 1 is 1. We don't even need to do any of this again, which is great. Now it's just 27. Okay, now we pre-simplified on all these problems so we didn't have to do the long division. If you did not pre-simplify, you would have to do the long division. Okay, so it's up to you, but I'm going to let you know that I highly recommend pre-simplifying before you start so that it's easier once you get towards the end of solving your problem. All right, so what you guys are going to do, you are going to have a Google slide and you're going to have some more of these practice problems. And I want you to practice pre-simplifying. I'm going to give you these red slash marks so you can cross off the number and type in the new number for whatever you divided by, okay? So that you can pre-simplify and make the problem easier in the end. Now, pre-simplification is hard for you and you don't want to do it, that's fine. Okay, you'll be able to long divide and do all that. It's just more work on your end. So I'm just trying to help you out, but if you don't want to, that's totally fine. And you can stick with just multiplying across and then doing long multiplication and then long dividing at the end, which is totally fine. You'll still get the same exact answer. All right, so try that Google slide with those practice problems. See how you feel. We will be utilizing pre-simplification for more of our topics in this lesson. All right, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Send me an email, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.